Hi, welcome to Channel Shift. I'm Rob D'Amico alongside Michele Rahal. This is Race Talk, and we're coming to you from Ferg Sports Bar, the home of the Tampa Bay Rays. And man, is it hot and steamy down here in Florida.
It is, in fact, very hot and steamy, but that's how Florida should be, and we're enjoying every second of it. Rob, what's going on? What's up?
Well, let's talk about one thing right now, and that's the fact that Juan Pablo Montoya was caught speeding during the race and leading the race, by the way, in the Brickyard 400. And everybody's up in arms saying, hey, NASCAR doesn't want Juan Pablo Montoya to win. That could be further from the truth, in my opinion. And I think that's a joke for the fans to think that way.
A lot of the fans that think that way, unfortunately, are the Hispanic Latino community who thinks that NASCAR is against him and doesn't want Montoya to win. I know that's not true. The problem is the technology or lack thereof. The amount of money that they've spent on bringing this car of tomorrow and bringing the safety features to NASCAR has been spent well, but they have not done absolutely nothing to improve the show, and the show is what it's about. They seem to forget that. Robin Pemberton, I cannot believe that he would come out and say, we're not in the job of officiating to the fans. No, you're not. You're in the business of retaining the fans you've got and adding fans. That's what you're in the business of, from the hot dog seller all the way up to Brian France. So I don't know where Pemberton's coming from.
I don't either. I don't get that whole statement. I think the guys in the front office may have pulled him aside and said, hey, shut your mouth.
He needs to get called to the hauler for saying that. That's my opinion. Because if they simply would implement the same system that the IRL uses, that Formula One uses, and that is push the button on the steering wheel when you enter pit road, and it completely regulates the engine speed. That way, you are always within the speed limit of the pits, and you never have to wonder. The fans don't feel like they're cheated, and you have a great race. The drivers are allowed to race.
Sounds too easy.
That's the problem.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about the new car. You mentioned it, the COT, the car of today, car of tomorrow, whatever you want to call it. It's coming to the Nationwide in 2010. Now, NASCAR did pull aside and have their little town meeting with the Nationwide team owners, and they have come to a decision that it will be out in July at the Daytona race. They're going to debut that car. Mustang has come out and sent out a press release with the look of the car, and I think it's great. We've also seen the Challenger, and I'm waiting for the Camaro. I can't wait to see these cars out on the track. I can't wait to see them in the big boy league with the Sprint Cup guys. I hope that one day happens.
That is what I'm looking forward to. I mean, God bless Nationwide, but I could care less. I really want to see it in the Sprint Cup series, because all I've seen so far for the last 3 years is these teams struggle and spend money to make a car that doesn't handle. And they still haven't got a handle on the lack of handling. I want to see...
Is that a riddle?
Whatever it is, I want to see them do what they're doing in Nationwide for the Sprint Cup teams.
I agree with you on that one. All right, let's move and talk safety real quick. With Felipe Massa, his recovery going very well right now, expected to be released out of the hospital in at least a week or so. So let's see what happens there. But let's talk about that. I mean, this is a spring that fell off one of the Braun GP cars.
Rubens Barrichello's car, yep.
And hit Felipe Massa in the corner of the helmet. Safe, everything was fine. Freak accident, yes. Don't overreact, though. I mean, we did have Alonso's tire come off, and they said, hey, they're going to ban him from another race. I think that's going a little bit too far.
They kind of carry things too far. You just have to remember, it is a dangerous sport. No matter how safe they intend to make the sport, something always happens. An anomaly will happen. It could have been a rock just as easily as it was a spring. The good part, ladies and gentlemen, is that the guy had a double skull fracture and a concussion and a horrible cut on his eye. But he can see fine. The concussion seems to be improving. He recognizes everyone. We'll see Felipe Massa back in a car again, and that might not have happened just a few years ago.
No doubt about that. All right, we're going to wrap this race talk up. You can join us next week right here. For Michele Rahal, I'm hot and sweaty. Thanks for joining us.